controlling prices, responding to emergencies, promoting agricultural development, and good nutrition. But there is another aspect of food security that must not be overlooked. And those of you from the Global Food Banking Network, from ABACO, from food banks across Latin America, know full well that issue is food waste. The FAO has just released a new study on the global food issues, food losses, and waste. According to this study, carried out on behalf of the FAO by Swedish Institute for Food and Biotechnology, roughly 1/3 of food produced for human consumption is lost or wasted globally. Imagine if we had that food to feed hungry people. That should not be. It amounts to, the amount of food lost amounts to 1.3 billion tons of food wasted every year. The study looks at how much food is lost or wasted throughout the food supply chain, from initial agricultural production down to final household consumption. In medium and high-income countries, food is wasted mostly at the consumption stage, meaning that it's thrown away even if it is suitable for human consumption. But the study found that there is also a significant loss of food early in the food supply chains in industrialized regions. In low-income and developing countries, the main loss or waste of food comes early on in the supply chain due to financial, managerial, and technical limitations in harvesting techniques, storage, and cooling facilities in countries with difficult climate conditions, as well as in infrastructure, packaging, and marketing systems. For example, in some developing countries, and sometimes in developed countries, food may be lost due to premature harvesting, as farmers harvest their crops early because their families need food or are desperate for cash. The result is a loss in nutritional as well as economic value, as the food may not be suitable for consumption. To address this problem, we are partnering with farming communities to help farmers to diversify their crops by both type and planting times to improve their production. Poor storage facilities and lack of knowledge on how to reduce moisture content can also cause loss of food after the harvest in developing as well as developed countries. I have visited farms in Uganda where we are partnering to teach those farmers how to lower the moisture content of maize prior to putting it into an improved storage facility. These products, such as fruits, vegetables, and meats, can spoil in hot climates without the necessary transportation, storage, and refrigeration. A lack of processing facilities can cause a high loss of food in developing countries, which prevents farmers from meeting demand. And inadequate market systems add to the problem. The commodities produced by farmers in rural areas need to reach consumers in an efficient way. We are working with millers and other elements of the small and medium-sized private sector to better connect them to farmers and farm organizations to improve the exchange of goods and functioning of the value chain. As the study goes on to note, given that smallholder farmers in developing countries live on margins of food insecurity, a reduction in food losses could have an immediate and significant impact on their livelihoods. Latin America, unfortunately, stands out for the high level of food loss in the production to retailing phase of food production. In fact, Latin America represents the highest losses in these categories of all the different regions. As the study notes, we know, and we know from our work with the Food and Agriculture agencies in Rome, governments, NGOs, and the private sector must continue to foster agricultural development as well as strengthening the food supply chain in developing countries and encourage small farmers to improve and diversify their production and marketing. The FAO study simply reiterates once again, there is a need to find good and beneficial use for safe food that is presently thrown away. And indeed, we have the Global Food Banking Network to thank for big steps in this direction. We need your warehouse and logistical expertise to help the global community capture this loss and to feed more hungry people.